Oh, live.
Well, indeed, we are now live. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. We have another HoGaLe for you, and my goodness, guys, I think this is going to be quite an important show. You're going to need to strap yourselves in because we've got some real humdinger questions coming up. As usual, the ladies have no idea what I'm about to throw in their direction. Or rather, what you guys have thrown in their direction.
Okay.
Remember, we take the questions from you. Yeah, that's how it is.
Do I need a crash helmet? You know.
Yeah, some of them are really, they're very interesting. They're very interesting. And they will go along, and I'll give you guys a little heads up on that. So what I would say, we've got basically, hopefully we'll be able to get through. We've got 7 questions. The last one will be a 1-card pull if we can get in. So guys, depending at which stage you're joining us when you're tuning in, try to stay to the end if you can. I think most of you do anyway. So we're going around a bit in our esoteric aeroplane. So we're going to be starting off in Senegal. Then we're going to be talking about Pakistan. Then we're going to be talking about Russia's influence on Western media. Then we're going to be talking about Merrick Garland. Then we're going to be talking about Tucker and his interview with you-know-who. Then we're going to be talking about Michelle Obama. Yeah. And then...
No stone unturned on HoGaLe.
Indeed. And then if we've got time, we'll do a 1-card pull on the Trump disgorgement. I've already read...
Don't you love that word? I only saw it last week.
Disgorgement. I'm sure Trump, when he first heard it, he may have felt even slightly excited until he realized what it actually meant. So before we begin, please don't forget to, of course, like and subscribe and share if you'd like to support HoGaLe. And maybe you've watched a few of our channels yet and you've not subscribed yet. If you would like to subscribe to the ladies as well, as usual, they are in the video description. And please indulge me as I do a little shout out. As some of you know, obviously I'm doing my retreat in Santa Fe and it's almost gone. Yeah, there's only 5 places left. But I just want to say a thank you. I'm going to be quick as I can to Marguerite, Patricia Franzino, who you know is in the comments a lot, Julie Gulef, Ioretta, Mary, Julie Nixon, Anne Morrow, Nija Mason, 1 minute, Betty, Jennifer Bays, Kathleen, we also have Erin Brophy, Dennis Brophy, and Donna Cohen. So thank you guys. Trevor Trip, we're going to arrange a sort of a group chat for everyone so everyone can meet everyone. It's going to be like family. Let me tell you, it's going to be friends for life.
What are the dates, Hoagie?
Oh, for Santa Fe, I will be there. So holding my first retreat ever, guys, my first one. And it will be from the 26th of August to the 30th of August, 2024. Everyone says, oh, but the heat. And everyone says, well, actually, the elevation cools it down. Lady G, you're just down the road. So I hope you won't mind me commandeering you and the puppies to come say hello if you can, or maybe I visit you. You must come.
Absolutely, we'll be up there for sure.
Lovely.
Okay, I'm putting in a request for the next one if we can have it in Italy in the shoulder season. But that's
or maybe Greece, Lena.
Or maybe Greece.
Maybe Greece. So they go everywhere. So we'll see how it goes. But I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. And hurry up before it sells out. Right. Ladies, shall we begin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we begin? All right. Let's start. And I'm actually, I'm going to start with a quote from Chuck Hepner. Do you guys know Chuck Hepner? He's often in the chat. My God, he comes up with some corker quotes. I mean, he's just full of them. He's obviously got a whole Bible of these things. But anyway, this is what he said. I think it was my Thursday Fright, but I had to share it today. Let me know your thoughts. A decadent civilization compromises with its disease, cherishes the virus infecting it, and loses its self-respect. And that's come from Emil Cioran, or Cioran, depending how you want to say the name, Cioran. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That will fit in with other stuff. All right, so let's go to Senegal. Okay, so this is coming. Oh, the dog's joining in. This is coming from Nicola. So she says, Senegal seems to be on the brink due to delays in their elections, with unrest increasing. What do the cards show for the country? There we are. Quite a straightforward question.
I would recommend, if anyone hasn't seen it, Anthony Bourdain, when he was going around the world doing that, his episode on Senegal is brilliant.
Really? Brilliant. Senegal. Oh, God. Doesn't it just seem like the whole world is just absolutely... I can't even find the words. Senegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on with Senegal? And just in case anyone's not sure, according to, I linked it in one of the old videos, I think it was in Time magazine or something like that, 49% of the world's global population will be in elections.
Yes, it's freaky, the number. Everyone has different election cycles. And then this year, whoosh.
There you go. Pluto and Capricorn, folks. My goodness. Oh, who would like to go first?
Well, I can kick off if you like. So things are up in the air for Senegal with this Two of Pentacles here. So the Empress energy comes out here because although Senegal is not a wealthy country by any means, it's had relative stability for a long time. That's why this is worrying now. It doesn't have the choppy history that so many nations have. So this is underpinning the energy now. However, there is conflict, internal conflict. I get the card of celebration here. So I'm hoping that its historical stability will hang in through this. And then there's this King of Cups. This is my Biden card here. This is a man who understands emotions and so forth, who could possibly win. But I pulled a clarifier and I got the Enemy card. So I think regardless of the outcome, the disruption will be painful to Senegal. There's, nasty forces at work in what has been a fairly stable, if poor, country.
Lady G, what do you have?
Oh, I am totally going in cold on this because I know nothing about Senegal, what's going on or what's happened ever. So let's see what we have.
Yeah, it's important.
So above it, we have, up, I just dropped a card. People need to come together with things. Yeah, a lot of stuff is overflowing there for people, emotionally, drama. So what we have in the past, we have the difficult times, kind of nightmare scenarios. Things now are kind of hung up. And the challenge is to strengthen things to be able to go forward, trying to figure a way forward. Underneath of it, they have new mentality of ideas that the people will be holding on to. And so that's it. We'll have to see who is in control of it in the end.
Yeah, very good point. Cold reads for me as well. Let me just do a little bit of clicky here. So thank you so much, Leslie, for your donation. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. Someone here says, so Edith Calandra says, Pluto is in Aquarius. I'm sorry. You need to remember, I am a Neo-Vedic astrologer. We follow the true placements of the stars according to physics, science, NASA. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricorn. Remember, Western tropical astrology doesn't take that move into account. So I'm sorry. Obviously, Western astrology still works, but Pluto is not in Capricorn. Sorry, not in Aquarius. Saturn is in Aquarius. Anyway, sorry, I just have to say that. And Steve Watt says, it's all coming together for change, the shift. People have the choice to take back their power by getting rid of those who don't have the people's interests in mind. Of course.
That should be the guideline everywhere.
Absolutely. Capricorn deals with government. Sorry to get all astrological, but it does. Pluto shows the underbelly. What are we seeing? The underbelly of governments around the world. Aquarius is the people. That's where Saturn is. Saturn is also the farmer. Have you noticed how many farmers are protesting against what? Their governments. It's not a coincidence, folks. Anyway.
Yeah.
Senegal. Sorry. He's in Capricorn. Pluto's in Capricorn. If we look here, look, Senegal really has to dig deep here. They're being tested. Look, this is all about strength. Cold read for me as well. I really don't have a clue about Senegal, but here we are. They're having to dig deep. We're hoping that moral courage will come to the fore. However, 8 of Wands, the situation is moving quickly. Yeah, moving quickly, as is always the case with these scenarios. The elections, we're going to see, really, this is a metaphor for the whole world. We're going to see a lot of rapid change, folks, and a lot of unexpected events. Remember, I said, expect the unexpected in 2024. There really will be some shockers. Here, there is an aspect here, again, of looking out to the world, choices to be made. This could be speaking about the Senegalese government and assessing their options. This could be the people of Senegal themselves, maybe looking for help, guidance, or assistance in this challenging time. But either way, people are having to make choices. There could be an issue here as well to do with legacies. This could maybe represent certain elements of the Senegalese government, because for me, in many ways, this is actually one of my Capricorn cards, because it deals with the establishment, the legacy, the power structures. So obviously there's something going on there. And then when we see, we got the Queen of Pentacles, so a sense of someone perhaps maybe trying to hold on to power or maintain the status quo. This obviously speaks to about women and how they're feeling and what's going on. So the sense I get is that strength is required, but events really are moving quite quickly. So I guess we'll have to watch and see what happens. I think it's quite a tricky scenario, but it's to do with the establishment in some way and some elements of values within the country. Anything to add to that, ladies?
Senegal was colonized by the French, and all of that implies. But as far as I'm aware, it's the only African country that hasn't had a coup, if someone could check that. Which says something in itself. If someone could let us know. I just remembered that from years ago, and I can't remember if it's correct, but I'm sort of in my back brain.
Very interesting. Are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we also have some Shakespeare as well on the end to talk. We'll get Shakespeare's opinion of Uncle Hansen, by the way, of course. All right, now we're going in our esoteric aeroplane, and now we're going to Pakistan, who are having their elections, so the first of global elections, as we've said. And there's been some talk as well about Imran Khan using AI or something like that. But look, here's the question. So again from Nicola. So she says, morning. Pakistan's elections sees both parties declaring victory. Appears this is a close battle. Can the cards show the outcome and what this will mean for Pakistan in the future?
Right, just before we get into that, thanks, Patricia. Yes, Lena, Senegal has never had a coup, and that's because they have run their own elections fairly. So I really, really hope this is a bump in the road.
Right, I see. I'm trying to find Patricia's comment, but I can't.
It's in all caps. Just go up a bit.
Yeah, I can't see it all here. Sorry, there's so much. Yeah, I can see her, but there's lots of comments because, you know, remember guys, the chat is a whole entity in of itself.
Absolutely, love you guys. Now, so, Pakistan, different story. Yeah. It's not Senegal. Yeah. What's happening?
And the last I heard, Imran was locked up, wasn't he, as basically as a political prisoner?
He is a political prisoner, and he's just been given a 14-year sentence.
No.
Yes.
For what?
Well, exactly. For what? For representing another point of view is for what?
Oh, God,
it's scary.
Beastly this stuff is. It's beastly.
And he could have stayed as a world-famous cricketer and been a playboy and had an easy life, but he went back to Pakistan to try and make a difference.
Yeah. So you see there again, Pluto in Capricorn, corruption in governments, people wanting to push back. There you go. Classic. 14 years for what? And he's beloved. Well, that's
he won't do 14 years because there'll be another change of government and he'll get out. But that's not the point.
Yeah, you're right. That's not the point. What's going on with their elections? Well, it looks like 2024, we're going to be reading a lot on elections, aren't we, lady? So. 49%.
We're going to have to get our commentators' microphones out saying they're coming up on the inside, you know, going to be overtaken. We're going to have
steam coming off our cards. Oh, my God. Who's ready to go?
Are you ready, Lady G?
I'll go ahead and go. So above it all, what's moving this forward is what are they going to do? How are they going to move forward? Wanting, of course, to get to a better place. But the foundation is, you know, sowing the seeds, not liking the harvest, looking at the history and the challenge and things again coming up is losses. Because we have above it their religiosity, drama in Pakistan, the abuse of power with that, and of course, what's being birthed out of that. What they're doing now, we have again the illusion and drama, some of the dark elements, that are the challenge now is what's coming in, you know. They got the club in hand for the new action. In the past, you know, they've tried to get to a better place, foundation thing where they can go through. And the outcome is, again, the same thing we had above it to begin with, the octopus, but going forward, you know,
Corruption.
Yeah.
Lena, what do you have?
Well, that was virtually my reading. Thank you, Lady G.
I mean, you basically got half the cards.
I'll sprint through my cards because you've explained them so well. It's quite a crude play for power here.
Yeah.
It's one of the distinctions, I digress for a moment, one of the distinctions between first world nations and third world nations in the old language used to be that in third world countries, winner takes all. And that wasn't supposed to be the case in our countries. But now what we're seeing everywhere is winner takes all, right? Now, Pakistan is a developing country, but it's not moving very quickly. So it doesn't know how to deal with these quick forces that are at play in terms of demands for a more modern, progressive Pakistan. It can't cope. because it's got, I picked another deck for this, the Hierophant, which is, as you were saying, held back by
ideology,
religious overkill. It's fine to have religious elements in your society, but the domination is a burden, and the strong men keep getting into power.
Yeah.
And money rocks.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
Got two of the same cards, three of the same cards.
Three
there.
of the same cards. Ridiculous.
Three of the same cards. Amazing.
Love that. Love that.
Wow, it's just amazing, isn't it? That synchronicity and how consistently Spirit often speaks through all our cards. I mean, there are many times where we get several, all the same cards, which is just ridiculous. Mine are slightly different, but they're really saying pretty much the same thing. So Pakistan. So if we look here, Four of Pentacles. Look, some old stooge somewhere or stooges are trying to hold on to power. They don't want to let go. They feel threatened by the new. Imran Khan is sort of fresh, dynamic, a bit sexy, bit of a heartthrob. He only has to walk around. I'm not saying he's a perfect politician, but he's got a lot of charisma. He's got a lot of charisma, and basically, people have been throwing the equivalent of their political panties at him for a long time. It's just true.
It's true.
So there they are. Yeah, they're trying to hold on. They don't want him in. Of course, this is causing anguish and heartache. And obviously, this is going to be talking about Imran himself as well. I mean, 14 years. I mean, it's just like,
he's not young anymore. He must be mid-60s or something.
Exactly. I mean, even Putinska tries to come up with something a little bit more elaborate to not lock someone away for 14 years for what? Breathing? It's just absolutely ridiculous. However, I think here, look, we see the Wheel of Fortune in action. No one's really buying it domestically. And as you are both saying, look, and you were saying, Lena, look, a new government's probably going to come in, the wheel will turn, and he'll be released. So as long as they don't harm him when he's inside and try and poison him or something ridiculous like that, then I think he'll be okay. The Wheel of Fortune will literally turn, and I think it will open the doors for him. Right now, it's a juggling act, because they're trying to have to justify this absolute BS. And I don't think anyone's seeing it. They're juggling, trying to hold on, but this can also mean manipulation as well. And just the sheer choppiness of the environments, people, both sides saying they've won. And then obviously it's going to have to come down to some kind of legality or the courts, however much they can or cannot be trusted. We'll have to see. But let's hope some rationale wins. But I think it could be a legal judgment that has to decide it in the end. Whether that legality is just and uncorrupt, we'll have to see. But that's what I'm getting. Yeah. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move to Russia?
No.
Right. Okay. So now we're getting into what we all notice is that the temperature will increase as we go along.
Okay. So far, so good.
So far, so good. So this is take off a few layers, folks, and get ready because we're about to start going into the sauna room on this one. So this one comes in. So now we're in our esoteric aeroplane, and this time we're in Russia, but we're hovering above several countries at the same time. So Sarah Hellis says, "Hi, Hoagies and ladies. What percentage of people in the media have a relationship or a link to Russia in the US, the UK, and Australia?" How about that?
Wow.
Quite a broad question, but I think we can handle it.
I think let's just tweak the question. So rather than percentage, how much influence?
Exactly. Yes, you're right.
Russia has in the media in those different places.
Influence. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Let's see. And this will be relevant to our questions that come next. Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's our country. So it's UK, US, Australia.
Yeah. Russia. I'm getting the shivers just even asking the question. My instinct I'm hearing is, or what I'm hearing is plenty, but let's see what the cards say. Oh,
Everyone.
let's see if we get the Seven of Swords or the Empress or something like that. I wonder what we'll get.
I didn't. Shall I kick off?
Go for it.
I got the UK. I did 3 cards for each country.
Oh,
Yeah. So with the UK, I got the Temperance card, the Moon card, and the 6 of Cups. So what I think that's doing as a mini story is the UK media has for a long time, like everywhere, none of us have really true independent media outlets anymore. These are the dogs howling at the moon. And with the 6 of Cups, it's intergenerational to some extent with the kids. So I think the influence in the UK is behind closed doors with this moon card here. So, oh God, this screen being backwards is so hard to work. The Temperance card is any country, including the UK in this case, telling itself, oh, it's fair and balanced and it's okay. It's not okay because most people do not realise what is happening under the cover of night. I'll do Australia next and America. So Australia next, Knight of Wands going forward but reigning in the horse. So I think certain Australian right-wing shock jocks and people were galloping forward with the momentum of the Trump years and those associations, including Russia, and they're reining in the horse a bit. But I don't think they have a clue what they're dealing with. So this is the High Priestess here. And yes, we all got her, isn't that?
Look at that.
Look at that. And no, we don't want it, but we're naive to think we haven't got it. So back to our girl, the High Priestess here. It's suggesting this nefarious way in. It's just more obvious in the States. Here we have the States. This is entrenched stuff now with the devil. This is the GOP and Tucker et al. And everyone, literally, they can't break away. And it's such a powerful country. It's the prize for Russia, of course. So more energy, effort, money, and resources has gone into this relationship. It's a little bit out of control with the Chariot here. And my final card, the Page of Pentacles, the message about money and values. I know I keep harping about values, but this is a comparatively weak card compared with 2 major arcana. So in other words, people are trying to speak up and pass on the message, but it's entrenched in the US.
My gosh. Oh, Lady G, what do you have?
Now, we have the Merchant, the wish-fulfilling card of them, their their attachment to what they're buying, So, the foundation is that we have Russia here, and we have the people that have basically walked away from their emotional things and have gone and put out the message, that Russia wants, of course. Above it, we have this difficulty that people are having with that with the mentality that continues to come out, and they continue to hold on to their money that they're making out of this, whatever they're sold their souls for. And so what we have going on now, it's going to be swords in the back in the end for these people, but that are, hanging on to Russia. And the challenge is their prosperity, but that's going to be ending. And of course, in the past, we have the secrets, and the outcome is what's been birthed and what the secrets are that they brought into the various countries through this disinformation and drama that they continue to buy into and put out there.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to read my cards. I pulled 5 cards as usual. And guess what? 4 of them are major arcana.
Yeah, right.
4. And
Wow.
just to with Lady G's card, and she got the Empress. Now, guys, do you remember? I've had this whole massive revelation that happened. I'll be very quick. Last week, I pulled the Empress card. And do you remember I didn't jokingly really, but I said, what's underneath the Empress's skirt? As you know. And I said, tumbleweed. Yeah. Do you know what it turns out? Someone in the comments wrote, and they led me to an article. It turns out tumbleweed is non-native to America. Apparently, it first arrived in America in 1870. International shipment bound for South Dakota, according to Wikipedia. And within it were contained the seeds of what is actually referred to as the Russian thistle.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Isn't it symbolic?
Isn't it symbolic? So I always associate, as you know, I associate the Empress card with Russia. And I said, what's under the skirt? So it's almost as if Putinshka has lifted up his skirts in a way. I mean, we know it's a him, but you know it metaphorically.
Yeah.
And these tumbleweeds of propaganda have rolled out and taken root, taken seed in the sorrow, the tears of sorrow in people's hearts, and have taken root. Because the thing is, once tumbleweed is in, it's very hard to get rid of, which is kind of what the cards are talking about. So anyway, people know that already, but I just wanted to put that in there. Okay. So
over here, we're always dodging tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Right. I'm told, yeah, there's a lot in the Midwest because they need dusty places to rove and roll around. And then when it rains, they germinate. So so again, the question was, what is it? What influence has Russia basically had on the US, UK, and Australian media? So here, straight away, look at this.
Yeah.
Here's Putinshka. Investing, looking at his investment. This is the card, I call this the card of ROI, return on your investment.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what it is. You can see he's sown his seeds and he's looking at the fruit. So this is Putin and in general, the Russian machines, shall we say, in terms of their investment in their propaganda and stuff like that. Look who turns up next. Madame High Priestess, who turned up for all of us. So we know straight away, she's turned up in the obstacle position. This is a clandestine plan that has been in the cooking and the off for ages. As we know, Putinshka said, in his opinion, the fall of the USSR was one of the worst travesties of history. We'll be talking about him later, but he's been plotting, scheming, and this isn't just him. These are those that are aligned with his values. Yeah, as Lena says, pentacles deal with values. So we've got here maligned influences in the media that are more aligned with the influences of Russia. Just in case we weren't sure that we were talking about Putin, look who turns up in the middle in his masculine presence, because most of the time he's either the Empress or the Emperor. Yeah. So I find... Say again?
No, don't worry. Move on.
Yes. So when I read on him personally, he always turns up as a female archetype, but in his international role, he usually turns up as the Emperor. So here we can see Putinshka has been directing all of this. We know that he's very clandestine. Yeah. Although the interview, I would say, was very interesting, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here now, I think people are really starting to question everything. We've got the Hermit. We need to have deep reflection now on what is true, what isn't true, what's in between, what is and what isn't. Deep reflection, because I would say it's getting increasingly difficult to trust the legacy media, shall we say, of either political persuasion.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair. And I think we need to address that elephant in the room. It's, yeah, there's a lot of partisan stuff going on. And Putinska knows that and plays that as well. So you see, it's the murkiness is just incredible. And then we get the lovers cards, which is about making choices. And I think this is about us making personal choices. I think now it's now required. And I think, look, if you think of why channels like this are popular and many others, of course, there's, Cash Peters, Linda G, all of us psychics, we're all alternative media. Mm-hmm. We're doing an esoteric take on the news. And sometimes the results we get are surprising, aren't they? So I think this is about people making their own individual choices from a range of sources and then having to decide quite literally which way they go. So I would say Putin's effect is profound, not always obvious, but definitely subtle. And we all got the High Priestess, which we know can mean shenanigans and shady moves. Anything to add to that, ladies?
No, keep going.
Right. Okay. Interessante. Now we're going to talk. Now we're going to our esoteric airplane where we're going to spend most of our time now in America. At the moment, we have, 1,469 of you with us now. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate it and the way you contribute. And here, happy Sunday as well to everyone as well. All right. So Merrick Garland. In a way, I thought this question was kind of put to bed, but I think it's worth asking on. So this is coming from Robin. Hi all, do you think Merrick Garland is compromised? Does someone have compromise on him? And what I will add is, I've put in the video description, I did a video on Merrick Garland on November 10th, 2021. And I said he might be compromised, he'd be challenged. And I also said he would leave the case and get in someone younger. This was November 2021. Do you know I got a lot of slap face for that? You leave him alone and blah, blah, blah. He's doing blah, blah, blah. It's all come true. Yeah, I'm just saying. Watch the video for yourself of the prediction that I made. So I already have an answer on that, but let's see what the cards say. Merrick Garland, is he compromised? I mean, has he retired now? Has he retired?
Are you mad? No. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Remember, folks, we just say what we see. It's not about candy floss or,
Yes, exactly.
We do bitter gourd and meat and veg on this channel. What do you have, Lena? Come on.
Oh, Jesus. I came in thinking, no, I have other problems with Merrick Garland, like thinking he's just old school and too fundamentally decent even, for the role. I've been critical of him for not having enough mongrel, as we say in Australia. However, these cards, money, 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 money. He's actually, I think, hugely distressed and miserable about this. Here's Biden. Well, he should be distressed and miserable. He threw Biden. I'm sick of the term under the bus. He threw him in the deep ocean over that terrible report.
Overboard.
Totally overboard. I think he's feeling very bad about that. But here he is again, clutching money to his chest. I don't know if it's necessary. I'm not saying Russian money or anything like that. He did give a speech to the Heritage Foundation. Now, in and of itself, that should not condemn anyone. You should be able to speak to who you want to speak to. But I'm not happy with both these cards. And I think he's so stressed that he's sort of off in la la land. You know what I mean? Sometimes stress affects people like that. Some get angry, some get sick, and some float off into la la land. He's not coping. From these, he's not coping. And there was a bit of money that changed hands. I won't say he's totally compromised per se, but a bit of money changed hands for speaking engagements or something.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, above it all is Five of Swords. So something there is, you know, an abuse of power or being leaned on in some way. And so what we have that is shedding light on that. The foundation is, and I have a lot of major arcana here. His world, his world is a lot of people are kind of coming together and rushing to some ideas about what's going on. Above it, we have some toxic things he may be involved in.
Ooh.
Emotionally, and so because of all this, he's out in the cold. He's, you know, he's got something there, which I don't think we really want to look at. So he is what's going on now. He's struggling with trying to temper things. With tempering things, because in the past, you know, this was moving forward, but we have a woman that maybe has something over him. Okay. So
that'd be Eileen Cannon, maybe.
Yeah, he may be compromised with something behind the scenes that somebody's leaning on him
it's
about.
sad, isn't it? Oh God.
Oh my!
What did you get, Hogs?
Well, I mean, I've got some humdingers here. Let me just say, so in the video description, I've put the link to that video. Like I said, I did back on November 10th, 2021. I looked at his chart and the astrology and whatever, and I said, guys, there's something not right here, where I said powerful, if I recall correctly, powerful and influential people are leaning on him. He's not sure what to do, and it's stuff that we can't see. And I did a tarot card pull at the end, and I said, I think someone younger is going to come in to kind of take over the case, where basically I anticipated, you know, the Jack Smith thing. Watch it for yourself. This was done years ago, but look at our cards, folks. We just read the cards. Look what I'm surprised with the cards that came out. For I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, so 5 cards as usual, 3 major arcana. Wait till you see what the last 3 ones are. So this is him. Look. 9 of Wands, embattled, embattled. You know, this whole case for him was a minefield. Here he is, beaten up this way and that way, involved in all sorts of intrigues, but look, determined nonetheless to survive. But we can see here, this is also the wily and cunning character. Let's not forget that as well, who has to go through many negotiations and jump through many hoops in order to survive. So that's showing him. Look at this, 7 of Pentacles comes back. Someone's made an investment here. Someone is looking at their ROI. Looking at the return on their investment. And the last 3 cards might indicate who that is. So there's people have invested in him in some way. But look, it's coming as in the obstacle position. So we can look at it as reverse, which could mean the spoiled harvest. So there is this element here. And I think part of this is, when we look at it from this way, or in terms of the spoiled harvest, I think that's the investment everyone else put into him initially.
Really good point.
Because this is the spoiled harvest. Everyone was expecting blah blah blah. And when I was making my video, let me tell you, it was not popular what I had to say. People were like, you leave. Everyone was invested, but it's turned out to be spoiled harvest, has it not? You know, we just look at reality. What happened? Here, we've got the world card. Endings and beginnings, beginnings and endings. But this also suggests a global influence here. So some of that pressure that was put on Merrick Garland had an international element to it as well, particularly when we see the last card. Yeah. Anyway.
Here comes the Empress.
Can't make this up. But just before we have the Devil. So again, what does that mean? It means to be compromised, chained to someone or something. Codependency, shadiness, corruption. Yeah, this was what the question was all about. But who potentially, for entertainment purposes only, was Merrick Garland attached to?
Yeah.
Oh, looky here.
Oh, no.
Looky here.
I was joking. Wow.
Right, I know you were joking, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Just you wait until she sees the card. The Empress does. Do I need to say anything more? The skirts have lifted, folks. That tumbleweed has infiltrated many places. Putinshka is sitting there, sweet, and he's like, there. Anything to add to that, ladies? I mean,
not really. No, still digesting that.
Can't make it up. Sorry, folks.
That goes perfect with my last card too. The one that's got the power over him, and the same thing had the Devil card that's chained to that top. Yeah. Ooh.
There could be a female that has compromat, or a female may have been used to get compromat. Something like that. You know, Russia.
Dear.
I know. Right. Okay. Are we ready for the next question?
I don't know.
I did say, didn't I? I said, guys.
You warned us.
You know, my God, that is some real. Okay. Now, so here's a question here. What, if any, could Tucker's interview with Putin have on the general elections of 2024? And has it helped Trump? Yeah. So just to add some extra parts to that.
Yeah. Okay.
For interview recently with Hilary Clinton, and she calls Tucker a useful idiot. So she had her perspective. Many people have their perspective. We also want to see what Shakespeare has to say about Tucker after that. I actually watched the interview. It was over 2 hours long.
Wow.
Interesting. What I would say to people, just watch it for yourself. Just watch it for yourself. But the first half hour is a history history lesson in Russian history via Vladimir Putin, just so you know. It's quite an extraordinary thing. So, but let's see, what, if any, could Tucker's interview with Putin have on the general elections of 2024, and has it helped Duck L'Orange?
Oh, right. I'm moving to the Deviant Moon cards.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I need to go to my slightly spooky deck as well, actually, on this. Look, I need cards like this. Yeah. Because this is just something. Well, I might use them as clarifiers. Actually, I'll use them as clarifiers. Oh my God.
Ooh.
I'm literally starting to sweat here.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't go well. I haven't seen it. The actual
Give it a
interview.
watch. Yeah.
So if people have actually seen it in the comments, please let us know. Oh, well. Here, King of Pentacles here. Could be either of them, but ironically, I think this is actually Tucker Carlson, right?
Oh.
Man born to money, used to the power that comes with money, has grown his individual power and wealth. He came in feeling like the strong guy, right? For whatever reason. I am so rich and famous. I can get an interview with Putin when no one else can or would, and aren't I fabulous? Oh, whoops. Putin pulls the Hierophant card here.
He actually talks about religion, by the way, which is very interesting.
Did he? Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. But this is Carlson playing with the big boys and losing. Putin, this is the Five of Wands, arguing in circles, just ran him ragged. And his aim was to, discredit Biden because that's his reason for living. But even that doesn't seem to have happened from these cards. And Carlson actually ran away going, oh, my God, I had no idea. I think there was a naivety to this process. I think Tucker Carlson, he's used to all the Russia stuff being bandied about, Russia. And then he came up against the Hierophant and he freaked out. So I don't think it's going to have any influence on Trump or anything else.
Lady Key, what do you have?
Well, interesting. It's the Four of Rods, which has to do with usually my card for the White House, but this is trying to influence the voters, the Trumpian clan, with the message about action. So what we have in the foundation, what was worked on was, of course, Putin, and witnessing with his whatever he was putting out through the whole interview there. Above it, of course, he's going to railroad things and dominate it. And it was with an aim to hurt, of course, Biden or to hurt the elections going forward, the one in power, which is the stronger one, which would be Biden. So we have what was going on then, going recently, trying to tie people up. But the challenge is, he wanted to put the swords in the back of the Democratic Party. In the past, we have, guess who again? His actions that he's done with the outcome, some sort of a new mentality and thing that he was going to try to influence people with. But no, it's not. The only ones that will influence are those that are already big MAGA, QAnon people, and that's it. Otherwise, no.
Oh, wow. Interessante. Right. Okay. So just to elaborate a little bit, I was just like, out of sheer curiosity, because once upon a time, I actually visited Russia in 2008. This was before it was controversial to do so. Yeah. Fascinating place. Will I go again? No. Did I have to learn some Russian? Yes, I did. I've forgotten it all now, but apparently I can speak Russian without an accent. So people will come into me going, are you Russian? Are you Russian? I even have here, 1 minute. What did I have here? On my mentor, because I keep all these travel books. And I've got this book here. Look, literally, which one? Look. This is Modern English to Russian Dictionary, which gathered a bit of dust. This was Beginner's Russian that I learned. We're talking 2008, guys. So don't think I'm some kind of plant for Putin. No, Moscow traveling. I've been there literally. I went. Where did I go? St. Petersburg. I took the Moscow Trans-Siberian Railway to Siberia, Novosibirsk, saw the eclipse come through, took the Trans-Siberian Railway, took Aeroflot to, I managed to survive, to Siberia, solar eclipse, and then took the Trans-Siberian Railway back. And even where they train their cosmonauts and stuff like that, it was fabulous. Will I do it again? No. I had dreadlocks at the time. I think they thought I was Bob Marley's son.
Yeah, that's right.
Just saying. All right. So what effect, if any, will this interview have on the elections? Interesting cards that I've got. Now, isn't this funny? The White House card turns up,
You don't
as
know.
we've described. Yeah, 4 of Wands. So yeah, you got the same. So here we are, 4 of Wands. So this is showing, yeah, I think it is going to have some impact, but I think, like Lady G was saying, those that are already of the persuasion are probably more convinced of their state than before. I think it's more like that. But, you know, these things can have influence. So anyway, here we are. White House shows up. The obstacle position, 4 of Cups. People are not sure what to choose. I've said it before, but let me tell you guys, this 2024 elections, there's going to be a lot going on. It's not as clear cut as maybe some people are saying, and it would be naive to call it so. There's too many factors. So here, the electorate is a bit undecided. They're not really liking the options on the table. This could be Dr. Orange, Biden as well. You know, it's very mixed. It's very mixed. Here, I think there's going to be legalities and stuff like that because of the unsureness. I mean, it could take a while to know the result. I know that might be a given, but I honestly think it could come down to some kind of legal decree. So we need to watch out for that. If we look here, there's burdens here, burdens, difficulties and stuff like that. But I think this is also as well part of the energy of what Tucker was having to carry. Taking out the interview, the burdens that have since been thrown on his back. I think some people have overreacted a little bit. I mean, trying to block him. I think Europe said they want to put sanctions on him and his accounts.
I know, overkill. Yeah.
It's like, calm down. I mean, vicious warlords have been interviewed by Western journalists before. So to try and make out this is unprecedented and that he should be sanctioned is a bit silly, in my opinion. But I think he's also dealing with the burden of it as well. But I think there was also the burden that Putin put on him to obviously put him in a more kind of favorable light. If we look here, though, outcome, I get the 10 of Swords as well. So I think this is part of the reaction that people have who see what Tucker has done as an act of betrayal. Yeah, because this is the card of betrayal after all. But I think this is also Putin's attempt to strike dead certain perceptions that others have of him. Do you see, working on multiple levels? He has some very interesting things to say. And I think it is important that we at least have the choice to actually watch something if we want to or not. So there are several things going on. This betrayal or the ending of something could have several connotations. Pulled some clarifiers. 5 of Wands, arguments and disputes. It's obviously put the cat amongst the pigeons. We have the World card, so we're going into, you know, endings and beginnings of a cycle. And then we have the Tower card, so there could be something unpredictable. So I think the results have to be seen. At the moment, we've got 1,745 of you here right now.
Yes,
that is incredible. Thank you, guys. Let's do, oh my God, we got to do Michelle Obama. Wait 1 minute. Okay, we have to do this. We
might go a few minutes over, guys, because we've got to do Michelle.
Just a few minutes over, guys. All right, now this is really important. Now, you guys are probably well aware of what Robert Hur said about Biden. Do you know this?
Right. Disgrace. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, really, this was really something. But for those that may not know it, I'm just going to read out. This is what he said in his court assessment. And I'm just saying here, Biden's having a tough week. Yeah, he's having a very difficult week this week. So I put here, Biden having a very tough week with questions swirling on all sides, right, left, and in between, all sides of the media about his mental fitness after a devastating assessment of Biden from the judge, and saying, what did he say? He says, we have also considered that at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Yeah. Now, that is that's quite devastating. And of course, Biden has wanted to defend himself as well. What surprises me is that it's quite personal.
It's subjective. It doesn't go in legal reports like this. It's a subjective assessment. It's
pretty personal. Yeah, pretty personal. And I think they also said that Biden couldn't remember when his son died and stuff like that. And again, that's very personal. Now, look, does he have issues? Yeah, I think he does. But the point of these judgments is that such pronouncements from such high levels can actually have quite a detrimental impact, particularly as it does feed into a certain narrative. So anyway, so I just put that context there. But this is a question that I think is interesting. Is there a chance that Michelle Obama could run for president if he ends up being in some way sidelined by this controversy? What do you think? Do you think it's complete pie in the sky? We could do, we could do a one card poll. We could just see for just curiosity's sake. I mean, is she going to come in? No, I don't think so. I think we should do a one card.
He said absolutely no way. She's not interested.
This is what I've heard as well, but apparently they're saying, oh, maybe she will. I don't know.
I don't know. If we're going to ask this question, I'd rather not tag it on at the end of a show. I'd rather think, we could do it justice.
Next week? Next week? Shall we?
Put it down for next week. Are you happy with that, Lady G?
Sure.
Let's put it down for next week.
Because it's a valid question in itself. But, I'd rather finish with a bit of Shakespeare or a one-card pool or something.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's fine because it is very loaded, and it's had quite the impact, hasn't it? Those comments there. Right. Let's see, because we're supposed to see what Shakespeare thinks of Tucker Carlson anyway. And then let's squeeze in a one-card pull on Trump's disgorgement, and we'll do next week, and let's see what the fallout is. A week is a long time in politics. Let's not forget that. Yeah, for sure. And let's have a look.
Because although Michelle has said no over and over and over,
exactly.
Let's remember, though, Biden didn't want to do the gig either. And people felt they needed the teddy bear of the nation. So
I thought it was as dead as a doornail. I'm surprised she's even coming up in conversation, to be honest. I thought it was as dead as a doornail. And I was like, really?
I don't think wants to go near it again.
Let's see. So this is, what does the Bard think about Mr. Carlson? Whose turn? I think Lena. I think it's
Lena.
All right.
Yes.
Tucker.
Close my eyes. Tell me where to stop, and we'll see what the Bard thinks.
Ready, stop. It's always so good waiting for your reaction when you're
this is so interesting. All right. I'll read you the more elevated one and then the other one, because I think both are relevant. So this has come from Henry IV, Part 2. Listen to this. Bow ill, white hairs, become a fool and a jester. So surfeit swelled, so old and so profane. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I'll read it again. Bow ill, white hairs, become a fool and a jester. So surfeit, swelled, so old and so profane. Interesting. And Hilary said that he's being exposed. Apparently, when those that can speak Russian, when they talk about Tucker, apparently they're quite mocking of him, but he doesn't know that.
I've heard that.
The Bard is, exactly. The Bard seems to be echoing. And then on the other page, this is from Romeo and Juliet. It says, out, you green sickness carrion, out, you baggage, you tallow face.
Awesome. Awesome.
I think we can wrap it there, don't you think?
Oh no, we've got to do our one card draw on the disgorgement. It's our new word of the week.
Oh yeah, disgorgement.
So basically, the money that
exactly
Trump will have to pay for the New York case.
Exactly. So this is coming from Baron Bobo.
Oh, sorry, a card literally flew out and onto the floor. So I've got my card.
Oh, brilliant. So the question is, from Baron Bobo, does the court have jurisdiction over Trump's overseas businesses to suffice?
Oh, sorry, it's a different question. Sorry,
Hogie. It's still about the disgorgement, though.
Yeah.
Says, my gut feeling is that the court is going to impose 500 million to 800 million in disgorgement. Judge Ergeron hasn't ruled yet. I'm curious. So let's just see. Let's just see what's the energy around the disgorgement, and then
oh my God, Miss Lily, that's Lily. Lily's out there crying, wanting to come in.
All right, after 3, 1, 2, 3.
I've got the Queen of Pentacles. It's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah, he may have to get rid of some of the worldly holdings, maybe some things in Scotland may have to go.
Yeah, for sure.
And here I get the 6 of Swords, which is someone wanting to get out of Dodge. Could it be that he makes a little bid for escape with that World card in there as well? You guys know I've been saying for ages. I really do believe if it truly hits the skids for Duck Orange, he might try and make a getaway. But yeah, it's big money, folks. If this disgorgement is going to be a lot.
It's
there. Well,
guys, for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. It's over 1,700 of you in the end. I think that was quite a show in the end, wasn't it? Quite a lot of tumbleweed and ups and downs and roller coasters. I said, hold on. Juicy questions. So I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us, who's donated as well. Happy Sunday to those as well. We've just got a donation that's just coming from Edie. Oh my God.
Edie, bless you.
Edie, darling. Oh, my God, so generous. And someone is asking as well, when does Pluto go into Aquarius? Okay, do you want to know the answer?
Yes.
It truly goes into sidereal Aquarius in around about 2040.
Oh, okay. It's a slow
transit. Yes, it's a slow planet. But this gives us the opportunities, guys, to restructure things with government, organizations, how things are done. And the early part of the transit is always the most intense. So we're in some of the most intense. Once it starts getting to 10, 12, 13, 14 degrees, it will, moderate somewhat. So, but that's according to Vedic, of course. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you next week.
Next week. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now. Bye-bye. Big love. Bye-bye.